toy fans, Aaron here. Boy, we're only a couple weeks away from Force Friday 2, getting our hands on that Last Jedi merchandise. I just found out today that my local Toys R Us is doing a midnight opening, so if you got a Toys R Us near you, check that out. Today, though, I'm going to take a look at the Clone Trooper from the Tartakovsky Clone Wars series. This particular one we're going to look at is the all-white version. There was a red, yellow, and blue one released that I got one for in the package, but apparently never got one to open up. I don't know what I was thinking. I know I was moving at the time, and I had figures everywhere, and I must have thought I bought it, and I didn't, so guess I have some shopping to do. So anyways, let's head to that table and check this out. Starting first with the plain Trooper, the card matches the rest of the line of these figures. It's the white back with some orange explosion on the background. Nice image of the Clone Trooper in the upper left corner, and the As Seen on Cartoon Network ad in the upper right corner. Along the left side of the card back, you have the Clone Wars text. A nice look through the bubble of the figure included, and then on the right side for the artwork you have a pretty nice looking image of the Trooper. In this case you got 3 images of all white Trooper. You kind of see the 2 others on the side of the packaging. This was probably a little bit of forward thinking on their part, since as I add in the other figures that was released from the third wave, you see the 3 Troopers on the side representing each of the different ranks that were released. Turning these all back around for the front, you can see the look of the card is pretty much the same, except now you got an advertisement on these new cards for the new season of the show that was being released. As for the figures, they are all the same, but just the color is painted on the figure. Red is your captain, yellow is the commander, and then blue is your lieutenant rank. And then, of course, each has the little dots on the chest. But otherwise, it's the same figure. As for the back side of the card on the all-white Trooper, you have a nice larger image of the Clone Trooper as he was seen in the show. A lengthy write-up about Lucasfilm and Cartoon Network working together to bring the show out, and what the series is also about. And then at the bottom you got an image of 8 other figures that were also available at the time. For the release of the Rank Troopers, the back of the card is pretty much the same, except now you got some different images shown for the other figures that were available. And then to the right for that that Star Wars.Hasbro ad, that's now more of a graphic instead of just a text-based ad. Looking at the figure out of the packaging, again, this is just the white one. It's a very cool looking figure. I think it's very representative of what was seen in the cartoon. Looking at the head sculpt, for me it seems like the cheek area of the helmet is just a bit too wide. Also, this figure doesn't have the black line painted around the top of the helmet that the other rank troopers have and that the white troopers had in the show. For some reason that was skipped on this figure. But what black painting is there along the eye visor and the mouth area and sides of the helmet all looks pretty good to me. And aside from the helmet looking a little bit too wide to me, otherwise I think the design of it looks very good, very representative again of what was seen in the show. As far as the arms and waist area of the figure, everything's looking good here. I will say that my figure has a bit of yellowing going along in the chest area, and then also in the back as it swings around you'll see it. I mean, at this point this is a 14-year-old figure that's been sitting on the shelf, so some yellowing tends to happen. Anyways though, the sculpting looks really good through here. Seems to me that the black is everywhere it should be, and pretty nicely painted as well. Good use of coloring through the belt area, and again through there the painting looks good. And then swinging around to that back area, get some pretty good detailing on that back piece. Nice use of the gray colors through there. And then for the leg area and feet, you got pretty good sculpting through there. You know, you might see some red marks on my figure. I'm not sure where that came from, but I highly doubt it was there when I got the figure. The only thing I'm not really fond of are the black lines painted on top of the feet. I know in the show that they had some lines on the feet, but I thought that was more just to show maybe armor differences or just, pattern in the boots. I don't think it was meant to be an actual black painted line. So overall it is a pretty cool looking figure, and I'm going to just need to get my hands on the ranked versions of this figure as well. This figure does come with one accessory, and that is the blaster rifle. Good detailing on it. I like the sculpt to it. I think it captures the look from the show as we saw it there. And it does fit in the hand of this figure very well. Not much to say about it otherwise, it's just a molded piece of black plastic. As for the articulation of this figure, and same with the rest of the line, there's really not much there. The line was more about its action pose, if you will. Oddly though, for the Clone Trooper, he's more of a standing pose at attention instead of looking like he's in battle ready to shoot. But anyways, you do have articulation in the head, and it's on a ball joint. So he swivels up and down, spins, very nice, good range of motion there. And then your only other points of articulation is at the shoulder area where you're able to bring each arm up and down. Good range of motion for there, but that's all you're going to get, nothing else. Your legs are rigid, wrists, elbows, all of that, all stay. So overall, I think it's a great looking figure. Like I said, not much for the black lines on the feet, and I would have liked to have seen more of an action pose out of them since the articulation is limited. but I do still think it's a pretty cool looking figure just the way it is. Alright, that wraps up this look at the Clone Trooper from the Tartakovsky Clone Wars series. One thing I forgot to mention is that these figures did come with a little action figure stand. It was like a black piece of plastic in the shape of the Star Wars logo. Mine are packed away, so hopefully before I get through the rest of these figures, maybe I'll be able to find mine. I'd love to know your thoughts on this figure in the comment section below, and as always, thanks for watching.